Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news. And we've had a fun week of gaming as well, like we always do every week, but I teased it a couple weeks ago that we were going to try to start ramping up the YouTube gameplay videos, and that held true this last week. So if you don't follow us on YouTube and you're curious about what we play week to week, yeah. The worst part was we posted the first one of the bunch. We figured we'd kick off some gameplay clips with the Mother Gunship Forge run.
Yeah, man.
And Stewie, a great listener who comments on a lot of our videos, always appreciate his comments. He was like, it's great to see the Ruff Talk boys, playing what they love and such. And it hit me. I was like, well, that's what we always do. We talk about the latest and greatest a lot. And of course, we check it out and play it. But I mean, over 50% of our playtime every week is older games that
there's
we
always
just
either a finish off or a let's open with.
Unless it's a crazy week. But like for the most part, we're playing the oldies that we love.
I'll say ideally.
Like
I prefer to have
like a 60-40 split.
Dealer's choice and then what must be done. Mm-hmm. And sometimes what must be done, like you said, is something that you've been anxiously waiting for. So of course you're going to go, feet first right in and not look back. But for the most part, yeah.
It's what we want to play. It's a lot of oldies. So it hit me though that, we don't really put this out visually to the public. No. So might be low lift videos, low effort, but they're great. If you ask me, it's great to get this footage out. So last week did a couple Thrill the Fight videos. Then we did a great Prison Boss Prohibition video, which speaking of which, rolling right into it, we got access, thankfully, through the developers from Trebuchet. Their upcoming game, Prison. We got access to Prison Boss Prohibition, a sequel to a game we loved,
Prison Boss,
mm-hmm. Creatively named Prison Boss Prohibition. Prison Boss, the original, you're in a jail cell, crafting contraband and selling it while hiding from guards and making a living in the prison. Prison Boss Prohibition is a continuation where you have left the prison. You're on the streets of New York City with a stall, and you now are crafting and selling things, contraband, a lot of cases, to citizens. You're out of the prison, but you're doing your thing still. You got really good at it in prison.
Doing your thing. You're doing illegal shit.
Well, some of the things you sell are legal. The game has a newspaper.
No, you have option of doing contraband.
Sometimes soda will be legal. Sometimes it'll be illegal. Same with beer.
Well, let's be honest. So let's say I work my butt off and I make soda. What am I getting a profit for it? Versus if I decide I want to make alcohol. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get a far greater profit.
What's great in the game is if you read the newspaper, because every day they give you a newspaper that tells you some fluctuations of prices, as well as what customers want, which items are legal and illegal change daily. So sometimes beer might be legal, sometimes it might not be.
But I'll throw a butt in there.
What's that?
They incentivize 100%. You have no reason to be legal because let's say you decide you're only going to make soda and the cop comes. Is he going to keep walking because you're making soda?
That's a good point. I didn't test this. I imagine he's going to confiscate no matter what.
He's going to take everything you got.
Yeah, the cops are pretty ruthless. This is a real old school New York City shakedown they got going on. You even had items out that you thought you're oh, it's just grain on the ground. Who cares? Grain's legal. No.
Dude, they took everything.
Your bottles.
Everything that was out.
Cash, they'll take the cash if it's not in the
Literally
register.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I'm I hadn't made anything.
And to your point, they do kind of incentivize you to sell the illegal items in the sense that
the contraband.
If beer is legal, you'll still make money off of it. But if beer is illegal, you'll make more money off of it for selling.
A significant difference.
And the game goes through
and you need money.
Mm-hmm.
Need to buy supplies.
It's definitely a battery pack game. Thank goodness you can save around midway.
Yeah, that's no joke.
The tutorial's pretty lengthy on it. You can consider the tutorial its own level, but it was needed. It fully equipped you to play the game. And then we go in, and what's cool is after the tutorial, we can go right into co-op. It's not like we needed to hit level 2 or 3 in the story or anything before we hit co-op. Nope, level 1, right into co-op after the tutorial. But there's 12 days in the level, and each day you have a segment of the day that's dedicated to buying stuff, a segment of the day that's dedicated to crafting stuff and hiding from the police, and a segment of the day that's dedicated to selling stuff and hiding from the police. So each day is broken into 3 parts.
Just like the predecessor.
Yep.
If you played Prison Boss.
It holds true to there.
Same like mechanics and style of...
Same gameplay loop. One could argue it's a skinned Prison Boss, like a reskinned Prison Boss with co-op added.
Which that in itself is a game changer to me.
They didn't co-op? Yeah. Absolutely. I wanted co-op in Prison Boss. So much, but definitely to your point, they didn't reinvent the wheel. It's very much like the OG Prison Boss with that loop, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It was great to just be able to go in and like play without feeling like, oh my god, it's a bunch of there's combat out of nowhere. Where's the combat? It's not like that at all. So because it's broken into 3-day stages, and we were kind of getting our feet wet with it still, we only made it through 6 of the 12 days before your battery completely died.
Yeah, it happened twice now.
Yeah. I mean,
but I was a fan of the first one. So, I mean, we were anxiously awaiting our dirty little pause on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got it, we're like, how soon can we talk about this? And you're like, tomorrow, if we want.
One of those. It comes out July 10th.
Yeah.
So this week.
Right around the corner. Couple of days.
$19.99 on MetaQuest and Steam, but you can pre-order on MetaQuest for 15% off.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah. For co-op as well.
Well, that's the whole... to me, Prison Boss was great, but the one thing that I wanted for it was some form of co-op, which I hoped and prayed would have come as some sort of like update or whatever. So when we knew this was coming, and it emphasized the fact that no, this is you have co-op with this if you want. I'm like, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, I mean, to me, co-op could hurt or help you depending on your. I think we have a great rhythm and flow. We'll help each other. If,
but we play a lot of games together.
Yeah.
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could make life real miserable still.
They keep getting caught because when you get caught, you miss your cell cycle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It skips that whole part.
Yeah. So be nice if you play with a stranger because they could really cripple your financial gain.
If in the video we posted, because what we did was we're just like, screw it. We'll just post a whole hour of our first play session until your headset dies. The first 6 days of level 1, basically. And on the first day was when you were like, the cops won't care about this stuff being out.
It was empty bottles and some flour or something.
So that's how we started day 1. Yeah. And then I think the next day, I had missed some cash on the counter that I thought was... And so the next one was my fault. The next day, cop comes, and you're like, I think they took some of my money too. So maybe it was both of us, but I think it was me. So like right off the start, to start it, we went from 10 days... from 12 days to 10 days in like a flick. So the game can be ruthless. Like if you had a partner that doesn't care, they keep getting caught, it's going to affect both of you because the day skips.
Yeah, but if you get your feet wet in single player and then, start playing with even if you have a buddy to play with, I'd recommend play.
Oh, at least that tutorial too.
Oh yeah, Well, I don't think you have a choice, right?
I think you are correct. I don't think they let you skip it.
I don't remember a skip. Either way, I was happy that they did it. I like that there's lots of unlockables.
Oh, on the avatars?
On everything. The avatars, the amount of stuff in-game unlockables.
That's you start with the point we didn't mention. You only start with a couple ingredients to make stuff. You can only make soda.
Of course.
And beer.
You receive tickets through through an old style phone on the wall.
That's how it sounds when you answer the phone.
The lady kind of like really lets you have it.
Oh, she's aggro with it,
and then,
right?
Like a ticket comes out with a patron's face on it, and you have to serve them, which is always going to be one of the available items that you could be possibly making.
Mm-hmm.
So you better be prepared. And this is where having a good sharing relationship with your buddy comes in, because figure 2 to 3 people go to the counter at a time on each side. That patron that you're looking for could come to either one of your counters. Mm-hmm. So don't be greedy and be like, Well, he didn't come to my counter. I'm not, because you're not getting money for it. What
No,
you're going to get
that's an important thing to say.
Correct. You're not going to get paid for it. So always have one available. Let's say it's in the beginning game, one available soda, one available beer, just to complete the tickets, because it's those tickets that are going to allow the game to progress, where you're going to go from your, basic cabinets and countertops to like much cooler stuff. But
And yeah, you can unlock, like, I think we unlocked a fruit, and that added 2 or 3 new recipes just with that one ingredient.
so again, in my head, the way the tickets play out is always now have one beer, one fruit juice, one soda.
One of everything that you have available to make, just in case.
Yeah, because you don't know. Or don't. I don't know what happens if you don't do the tickets.
You just don't get the reputation.
Remember oh man, this was great. We went like 10, 15 minutes without getting a ticket. And I was like, I don't understand. We did the ticket. We did the first
Did we
one.
do something wrong?
And the phone was off the hook or something, something like that.
Put it right on the hook. It rings
on the hook,
immediately after.
It instant rings. Bring. Like you had a crazy person calling you, Holy Moses.
That's
But I was
funny.
like, that's a pretty good mechanic that they obviously thought of. Like, hey, if it's not on the hook,
It's not going to ring.
it's not going to ring. It's phone. Some people are going to be like, what the hell is that thing on the wall?
So yeah, in the run, you can unlock new ingredients to make more things, like you said, more storage things, because you have cabinets and stuff like that are essential, because when the police come, you have to hide everything.
Need stashes, man.
If you have
Need
more
a lot
items,
of stash area.
if you have more items to hide than you have space, there's nothing you can do about it. You're getting caught. You need to make sure you have that storage space, Mr. Frickin', before you go crazy making 100 bottles with one cabinet and then they all get taken away. You lose all that money. Make sure you have the storage space. Dude, we were getting a good rhythm. Like we were going much faster.
Our current save game is crazy because we each have like 3 counters with one drawer and one lower cabinet. I know you got 4 wall cabinets.
I started getting a cabinet for every ingredient.
I have definitely 3 wall cabinets, but I'm using both sides of the walls. So I try to place cabinets where I want my main grab locations to be. And then, we're smart with pre-gaming any opportunity we can by doing a couple of, but that one gets me a little anxiety when I see you put like 6 bottles on the table, because I was like, I did it one round and I was like, that's genius. And then
The cops started to
the
come,
next
right?
time I'm like, well, no, I'm like, what are the odds that we're going to start and instantly a cop's going to come and you're going to have these 6 freaking bottles out? You're going to be screwed.
No time to, I know.
Although they
it's a
do give
risky
you,
game.
I will say they give you ample amount of time.
At least in level 1, I imagine that cop gets faster, because in level 1 you see the cop coming and like we're like, oh shoot, copper.
I really don't know.
You had me dying when you're like, I'll get in one more sale. I was like, dude, there's a cop coming.
I wish they'd give
I
you
got
the
one more
ability
customer.
wish you could unlock a lookout.
For all we know,
One of those guys.
the unlocks. You great point to bring it up, because the unlocks in game are huge. Like it gives great incentive to keep coming
I
back.
want my
More
prison
recipes.
boss cholo.
And then also, you're a rooster, and they have a bunch of avatar cosmetics to unlock. We're still our base
Yeah,
rooster.
man.
We haven't unlocked any
Just a
yet.
normal rooster.
But there's just so many to get. So
Dude, the game is great.
yeah, prison boss from Trebuchet,
It's not even out yet.
July 10th this week.
But I'm gonna be paying attention on launch day to it. I think it's gonna come out to a really good. I haven't had anything broken. I haven't had anything not work.
The co-op.
What can I say, man?
The co-op is gonna. There's been kind of like feels like a lull in co-op games the last couple months, and they're starting to pick back up. But this is going to be a big one at the end of the year when we look back at the best co-op games. But it's definitely a big save and grace for this, in the sense that I think it's a really fun game. I love it. Like you said, we love the first prison boss.
Yeah,
If it didn't have co-op and it was just this similar to the first prison boss,
I wouldn't
just
love it as
reskinned,
much.
there would be some level of criticism, because you could say that it's just a reskinned prison boss. But the co-op mechanic of it, like, it makes it a whole new game. And like, if you're somebody and you beat Prison Boss 1 and you want more levels, like, you can hop right into this and it feels like you're just doing like
You're
the
back
next
at
level.
home.
Like, it's the next chapter in the game.
What's cool is I think there's a large amount of people who like did like Prison Boss, and they do have friends that they play a lot of online, co-op games with, and this just becomes a home run because you have, to me, I mean, well, we can assume that at this point, Prison Boss, the Prison Boss IP at this point, right?
They've made it a thing now.
Yeah. So it's like
you don't have to be in a prison the whole time. Clearly, it's cool. The game features multiple play modes. You can play how I play sitting and standing in VR.
That's how I do it.
Or you can do a room scale, which is ballsy in this game because I like to be able to move quick. And I'm thinking to myself, like, going crazy around my living room. Like, damn, that could get frantic.
I'm good.
That
Even
could
though
be
you don't
fun,
need
though.
a big play area.
No.
But why risk it?
There is also mixed reality, which I haven't really done too much yet because I love the VR environment in the game. But damn it, I should have had you bring your headset over so we could have tried it today. We'll try it next week. Where if you have two headsets in the same room together, both selected to mixed reality, you can do co-located mixed reality together in this game.
Which is pretty cool. That was the first thing when we saw it.
I was like,
dude, you gotta bring your headset over.
And there's a live camera in it.
Yeah, that's becoming that. I'm gonna say 2025.
If you're
is
multiplayer,
the year of live for
especially co-op
for developers because it's being integrated more and more, dude.
Huge props to live for. I mean, I imagine they make it easy for developers based off of the way developers are integrating it. Like they don't charge an arm and a leg for it.
Dude, you go to their Discord and you have a question, it's like it gets answered. They make it easy for
Users,
anybody,
let alone developers.
In theory, you should be able to come in going, I don't know what to do, and be like, okay, step one, do step two.
What's cool is the controls on all the live cameras in games are very similar too. So once you learn one,
they should carry over more or less.
It definitely feels that way. So that's cool to see. You can literally set up your camera in the top corner of the room.
We should get someone from Live.
And we should.
Probably Adam.
Technically, we have had Adam on the podcast,
I know,
but it wasn't about Live.
No. We had Adam on specific about the podcast.
Yes. I don't think Live even really came up.
If it did, it was just
in passing or something.
Yeah. Where, now it's this. I mean, because again, I'm calling it, man. This is their year. I think we're going to see more and more of it. And I think we're going to see it being integrated into older games.
It's a good program, dude.
I mean, a lot of people want to be able to share their stuff, man. And I'm not talking just creator. If it was just creators, I don't think they would do this. I think this is because there's especially in cases like Walkabout.
If we never had a podcast or YouTube channel, we would still want a feature like this just to be able to share funny moments with each other. Yeah. We were already doing that before I love to see it. They're going to
make it easy for you. Come on, man. That's even better.
Industry's moving in a good direction there with, the enhancement that's going to make to people sharing organic moments together. And of course, content creation is huge. So Prison Boss Prohibition from Trebuchet coming July 10th to MetaQuest and Steam. You can wish list now on both platforms or
I'm excited for people to play, man.
Yeah.
I'm real curious people's comments.
I think it's going to be a great video for streamers. I think there's going to be a lot of social media clips of it. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, like the second night we played it, I went into it and just, for whatever, I was just having like one of those off days, just, life, whatever. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to play it. I wasn't feeling the vibe. And then we started playing it. And within 5 minutes, I'm laughing. You're laughing.
You know what?
We're building shit. We're scouting. We're going into character.
You know what I think?
We're talking to the patrons, and and next thing I know, an hour, some odd minutes go by, my freaking headset
full nuke. Missed the notifications.
My God.
Yeah, I saw.
Dude, I saw the first one. I was like, hey, I just got a notification. I know damn well that it probably gave me like 6, 7 more. Like, hey, 4%, 3%, 2%. I just didn't. I was in it.
I have a theory of what would cause that.
Made my mood better.
Little bit of like feeling. It's like we've been excited for the sequel for what feels like a while now, maybe even multiple years. And then you go into it, that first time you played it was just single player, doing the tutorial and stuff like that. Maybe it felt so much like the original Prison Boss, it was a little bit of like, oh, I was expecting something more different type deal. But then you go into the co-op of it together, and like you said, then instantly it's a hilarious experience.
I can't find anything bad about it right now.
No, it's a great game.
I really can't, dude. I mean, it honestly made my mood better, which was really unexpected. I was gonna like petition to play something else. That was just the kind of mood I was in.
Yep.
and then
Start having fun in the co-op. Like you said, next thing you know, it's the only thing we played that night. It's a good time.
within 5 minutes.
Well, dude, especially when, like I said earlier, we do a
And when
lot
I
of
looked
co-op
at my
together.
avatar, and I'm just this giant freaking rooster, and I'm looking at all the stuff I just want so bad for my avatar. I'm like, I want all that stuff, man.
There was a moment, maybe by like day 4, where I heard you in character selling things to people. I was like, dude, the cop's coming. You got to wrap it up. And you're like, I got one more. You're doing your Uncle Vinny.
Yeah, I was running a hustle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, throwing stuff in there.
I think you even gave it to him. And you're like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You know?
the business is done.
Store's closed. Dude,
man.
I was dying.
Can't wait for Mateo to pop a video for this.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he's a New York boy.
Well, you know, dude, we role play. We get into character with these games. So sometimes these games are as fun as you're willing to make them in this sense, too. Like, we're going the extra mile with getting a character.
I would say for like that same vibe as like Job Sim.
Yeah. You
Or
could go through
Vacation
Job Sim
Sim.
and be like, what's the point?
Yeah, or go in there and have a character
Yep.
and be enjoying
like-
the moment. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm Bob Ross in it? Okay.
No, dude, totally.
So, I mean, I can't, right now, I can't say anything. I know we're going to be hitting it. You even sent me a message this morning. I'm freaking coming over here in like 30 minutes. And you're like, yeah, I can't wait to play Prison Boss again. Or, yeah,
So I'm excited for that one.
Prohibition.
Prison Boss. Yeah, that's actually good. It's not called Prison Boss 2. Prison Boss Prohibition.
Prohibition.
And then this other one that I'm very happy we got to check out because I was hyped for it before it dropped on the computer. Then when it came out on PCVR, we went into it then. And then when I heard it's coming to the Quest, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a good release. And I'm talking about Requisition VR. It's a game with very unique crafting.
Love it.
You can find items all around the world and just stick them together. So you might find a stick, you might find, a dumbbell, and you can just clunk them together. I have a giant pole that I put a katana on one end and a katana on the other. You don't like to walk into rooms with me having it because it's just so big and will slice you up just accidentally by standing
Oh,
next to
yeah.
it.
You got 2 freaking swords on the end
It's
of
so
a
big.
6-foot staff. What do you think happens if I'm within 4 feet of you?
So big. Coming out this month on MetaQuest. It just says July 2025 on the store. You can pre-order it from $19.99. Pre-ordering it.
Ridiculous.
What, price-wise? Do you think cheap?
Unbelievably cheap.
Well, you can pre-order it from $19.99. It brings it down to $15.99 if you pre-order
Dude,
it.
even, I'm going to tell you right now, even $19.99, I feel is cheap.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. At $15.99.
$24.99 was my 100% expectation of value.
And admittingly, it's been like a year or so since we played it on the PCVR.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit longer. It was one of the first games we played when we got the gaming computers. And I feel like the gameplay loop in this is totally different than
It
the
feels
PCVR
different.
one.
The whole thing hits different.
It almost feels like a different game just with the same crafting.
I mean, sadly, they had to like mad dump down the graphics.
I was going to get into that.
Mad
If there's
dump
any
down.
weak spot in this, there's no denying it. The graphics are nothing to ride home about. They're actually on like the more bad side of things than like, oh, they're not bad. Like, no, they're pretty low texture quality and stuff like that. But it's a fun gameplay loop.
I didn't think they were that bad. I just think compared to the PC version,
Yeah.
that's not a comparison.
Like I said, it's almost
But
like
I don't hate the graphics.
well, the gameplay loop is so fun that once I'm in there, I don't care.
The
No.
tools and shit that I find look pretty damn good.
And this part, I don't remember being on the computer on the PCVR version, but when you go in, they give you a long video explaining what the game is, like the lore, and like you've pretty much been kidnapped, dropped into this place with the point of looting up, finding up, the grand prize, finding the items that they say you should get. You go in there, you loot up, you find the item, the grand prize, and then you have to extract out. It's an extraction-based game.
Well, you can extract out, or allegedly, and I haven't accomplished it yet, but you can find all the numbers
To
to unlock a combination. So I found one number last night. You put your hand on a scanner,
You can stay in there for a long
And
time.
If you look at your wrist, it's got like a number sequence that's asterisked out.
Mm-hmm.
I had the last number, which was a 5. So right off my head, I'm like, I wonder if we could find whatever I'm supposed to unlock. But that's what essentially you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then extract. But I pussyfooted out of there with like almost Ghost of Tabor style. Like
Very reminiscent.
got my backpack loaded to the gills. I got my hands loaded. I've got my pouches loaded.
Time to go sell stuff.
I'm going back to my base and getting my health back up and like you said, sell stuff. There's just so much to do, dude. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reluctant to talk too much about it because I look at those panels and I'm like, holy shit, there's so many things to craft, to build, to upgrade, to change your avatar, shoes, chest, eyeglasses. I haven't even scratched anything with this game yet. It's so big.
Standard extraction loop. You equipped up before the run with what you want. Whatever you bring in, if you die with that stuff, you're going to lose it. But in your home base loadout area, there is like lockers and stuff like that to store your stuff, which is definitely helpful. And you can even buy more lockers as you unlock money. Definitely helpful. Interestingly enough, in the hideout area, in the main area, you can see each other, but it's like the blue man group.
Yeah.
You just see this floating blue
Very
character.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, that part's weird. But in there, you can change your avatar, which you get more cosmetics, so to say, by finding them in runs. Like you said, there's a crafting area. There's an area to sell and buy things. Important to say, after each run, they dump a bunch of money on top of you based off of how you did, and it'll give you a breakdown of why they gave you what. This amount of money for killing zombies, this amount of money for finding this, X, Y, and Z. And that money doesn't instantly go to your vault. You have to pick it up and bring it to an ATM vending machine and store it. We did, I think, 2 runs without putting any money away because we didn't know how it worked yet. And so we probably lost like $2,000 each just by not putting it away or anything.
Yeah, we're just over anxious. Just want to freaking play.
Go right back into it.
But the mechanics to me work easier than they did on the PC. Like attaching different attachments. I don't feel as limited.
I feel like if I remember correctly, the computer was very specific of like, this can only go to this.
Yeah, this
type
one
deal.
seems a little more, and maybe there's been a change to the PC one.
Yeah, we just haven't been on in so long with it.
Because originally when I saw like conceptually for this one, even for PCVR, I was like, oh my God, this is like
put anything on anything.
This is the greatest game freaking ever. And I won't lie, it's great. It looks great. It plays great. Haven't played it in a while though.
Mm-hmm.
So for this to come to the Quest is pretty huge. And I probably should go back into it to see if that's been a change, because did we buy Requisition?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, it's possible. It's been a while, dude.
I went on the store page and it talks that there's like a survival mode, a horde mode, a story mode, and a PvP mode. Whereas like this is an extraction mode on the Quest. So I feel like it's just different,
There is I think there is horde mode on this one.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's only extraction in horde.
Yeah.
But there is no extraction mode on the store page for the Steam version. There's survival mode.
Yeah, probably the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The story
I really
felt
don't
different.
know. It feels a lot more forgiving.
Yeah. And I like that way that they do it where like
You're in some sadist game show.
correct, and there's a guy with a big happy face mask on.
Why has
talking
nobody
to you.
done Running Man yet?
And then
Like for real, dude.
the way they explain it in the lore is they're like,
It's crazy.
you have to get good viewers in order to make more money, and there's cameras in the game, and it'll tell you how close you are to the cameras. My understanding is you want the action to be captured.
Yeah,
on
I
the
bring
camera.
the zombies to me, man.
Yeah, we did that a couple times.
Baited them under the shot.
Blah, blah, blah.
Get the kill shot.
Wonder how much
Especially
of-
if your weapon is like a one-shotter.
Mm-hmm. Which you definitely had a couple
You need the money,
of
man.
those. But they tell you, because it's like you said, a sick game show. They're like, if you die, we won't let you fully die. We'll come in, we'll revive you.
Oh,
You're gonna
right.
lose all. We're gonna take all of your stuff, and then
I think they say most of your stuff.
most of your stuff. Yeah, I
And
think
then
that
you get a backpack.
yeah, they're not gonna take your backpack away from your or your
I upgraded
clothes.
my backpack last night,
But
so I can hold stuff on. I can hold big weapons on the sides.
the real highlight of the game, though, is like, because there's other extraction games on the Quest. It's like what this game does unique is definitely that crafting. Where, like we said, you can pick up anything you pick up. You can combine multiple things together.
They tell you flat out, like guns and parts like that are going to be real scarce. So get creative, and you do pick up a stick, and I had a stick and a
saw thing, power saw.
Yeah, big power saw. Put it on the end, hold it out, press the trigger, and just start beating the hell out of the. Which was not as effective as like the samurai sword attached to the stick. That's a one kill.
And dude, having it on both ends, freaking awesome.
Just stay away from me, dude.
Well, I just won't. I won't take it out in a room.
That's crazy.
Well, it's funny. We were punching each other when we first went in. No damage being done. No damage being done. So then, like 20 minutes in, I see you. I take my weapon and I go. Well, I was punching him. It did no damage, and I slice. I see your guy get covered in blood.
Oh yeah, my screen goes red, and I got this red bar going across my.
I was like, I'm
top of my
so
vision.
sorry, dude.
I go, what the hell was that? You're like, I didn't know, man.
I thought I was punching you, but
of course I'm gonna try, but I didn't know.
But Requisition VR, man, we've just scratched the surface with it. I want to go in and play more. I feel like there's so much more to unlock, to do to it. You sound hooked on it. You sound in love with it.
Yeah, only because there's so much more that I haven't. Again, I got maybe over an hour or something in it. I'm not even scratching the surface. I was blown away when I was changing my avatar's pants. To like, 'cause they just there's so many like loot boxes around, and like it's like they do a great job with like, hey, some of them are gonna have some really good shit. Some of them, it's like you get that hoarder type mentality in these games, so you just want to take everything. When really, maybe 25% of the shit you should probably really grab, but I grab everything.
Well, we don't know the value. We don't know the value of stuff yet.
Well, you can always sell stuff too.
Correct.
That's the huge part.
But as we play more, we're gonna get an idea of like, that thing's worth $10. Don't even grab it.
Even carrying
that thing's worth $300.
This rusty pipe is worth more.
Gold bar was what, $600?
I think so.
600 or 900.
Dude, I walked out with over $5,000. That's crazy.
Oh, and then you start with no map, but then for I think it's 2,600 or 2,200, you can buy a map upgrade for your watch. Then you just click the button on there. Boom, that's good. And you can't stay in an extraction run forever. There's a timer.
Yeah, it'll count down.
We got out with under a minute left.
Mark. Yeah.
It was so scary.
Yeah.
I ended up looking at my wrist and realizing that it tells you like there's an extraction point, in this case there's one northeast and one southwest.
I think and you need 20 seconds when you're on the extraction platform. So I kept looking at the watch going, oh, holy crap, whatever time we get there, it has to be plus 20, dude.
Whenever we got there with a minute left, it was so relieving. But I saw the compass northeast. I said, there's one northeast, and we just booked it. We barely made it.
Figured it out quick. Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Absolutely love it. It's going to be a problem for a little while.
Ghost of Tabor is really the game that introduced extraction games to me.
Yeah.
Tabor is still if I want PvP, that's what I'm going into. We've tried some other extraction PvP games, and they haven't really hit that itch that Tabor did. But for PvE, if I just want to kill zombies, Requisition, man, the crafting in it is so unique. It's not Mother Gunship Forge, but the weapon possibilities.
It's not. But again, dude,
do you feel that similarity?
It's its own thing. It's its own thing. I mean,
it gives me that same satisfaction. Is a good way to put it.
You could duplicate a run in this game.
Yeah.
Whereas in Mother Gunship, you can't really. I mean, statistically, it'd be so. Maybe you could start it, but after that, it's a real shuffling a deck of cards. Good luck.
I would say the strongest parts of this game is one, fun as hell.
Mechanics.
That's the number one about this game is it is genuinely fun. Number two, like you said, the crafting, the mechanics, so unique, so fun. And if there was any weak spot, it's the graphics, the visuals. But it's not terrible. Like you even said it, like it's not that bad. And once you get playing, like it's fine.
No.
It's more comparatively to the PCVR version.
Direct, and again, it's not even in the wild yet. So I mean, I should be careful with what I say or don't say. But so like sometimes I feel like when you hit the enemy with like a bat or something. What?
The store page said something interesting that I didn't get the impression of before.
What?
Their store page says, team up with friends to explore expansive locations, overcome treacherous terrain, and take down both AI and human opponents.
Well, there's supposed to be, I think, a PvPvE.
Okay.
That's how I understood it. That it's a extraction.
Oh my
It's a
goodness. Did we
PvP.
so this is PvP too?
And I think it's PvP.
We're going to see other players with those type of weapons, and we have to kill them?
I don't know. I think that might be a mode.
I kind of like the PvE for this game.
I understand that.
I don't think I want to encounter other players.
It even says it. Extraction-based player versus everyone.
Yeah, does that mean only one game mode? And when we start going in these runs, when the game's out, there's going to be other people with Saw?
No.
I think so.
I don't know, man.
I like PvE in this game. They should make a game mode. They should have a PvP and PvE game mode, and then a PvE game mode.
Because there's a lot of fucking zombies.
Dude, do you want to run it? Do you want to bump?
Well, what
into,
I'm saying is,
do you want to bump
like,
into the U's?
What I'm saying
with
is,
a
like, you're gonna hear someone coming a mile away. 'Cause they're gonna be killing fucking zombies. You can use those zombies as radar
God,
or like an alarm. I don't know how that's gonna play out.
I hope that there's a modes. I hope there's a PvP and a PvE mode.
Could be.
There's also traps and stuff like tripwires.
It's my
and stuff.
understanding there's going to be, but I don't know.
Oh man, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Do you see the concern
Yeah, running into aggressive people while
in this
trying
game?
to survive in this
No,
is going to be like ridiculously hard.
nope. I'm all set. G.
Especially if there's only one place you can enter your code to get out
This
or
is
to
gonna-
get the grand prize.
Because you can set tripwires and stuff.
Yeah.
People are going to start to cause mayhem in a window of a house and tripwire up the house.
I'm hoping it's a mode, a setting.
You get what I'm saying?
whatever,
I
yeah.
said the same thing.
But I mean, it says it right in
PvP.
store
It sounds like it's all one. It
PvPvE.
sounds like it's all one extraction mode, and we just didn't have real players because it's not out yet. Holy moly! Somebody from Requisition, please clarify. I'm scared. I am scared,
I don't want to be forced into that life.
dude. The game's freaking good though.
So how many people can you have
I don't know.
on your co-op?
Doesn't say.
They show 3 characters on the main, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say on the store page.
This shows you how new we are to it. Also, shame on us for like just jumping right in and going to the game.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't help myself.
Well, I'm scared now. But it's a fun gameplay
I'm
loop. Like
scared.
for extraction games, it does
Dude, I'm
something
telling
unique.
you, man, running into other people might work in everyone's favor. But if it's a like only one grand prize,
Yeah, and that
I mean,
data
I get
chip,
it.
that data chip, if you find it, you can either sell it for a shoot ton of money, or it unlocks the next tier of weapons for you to buy. and
which is
unlock.
100% where I'd be going down.
Yep, you can buy that. You can buy the data chips in the hideout area for 6,000 in-game gold.
That's not too bad.
But maybe it gets more expensive. Maybe it's 6,000 because it's the
You would
next
think.
tier.
Then
Maybe the next one will be
12,000,
12,000, 20,000 or something. Yeah.
We'll know more next week.
But don't think I wasn't thinking like, I think it's more likely I'm going to get 6,000 gold before I find one of these data chips. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But fun game. I'm excited to see both of these great co-op games in the wild: Prison Boss Prohibition
This one
and Requisition VR.
This one's special.
Yeah, this one.
Couple minor tweaks with the.
I
the
can
combat,
already
and we're
tell the
good.
next like 1 or 2 months I'm going to be asking you to play other things, and you're going to be like,
Haven't unlocked everything yet.
you're going to be like, you want to start with a Requisition extraction run?
Come on.
Don't you love when a game gives you that hooked
I
feeling?
haven't gotten a full code yet.
I know. There's so much to do.
I've gotten one freaking number.
Yeah, 2 great co-op games coming out this month.
Yeah.
Great stuff. In
Couple
July,
of days, dude. I don't know exactly when this one's coming out though.
and summer's supposed to be the slow month or the slow time of the year for gaming.
It's all right. The flow is good.
Yeah, I like this.
Let these
Said it felt like
Simmer.
it'd been a little bit since we got a really good co-op game, and 2 like that, I'm not mad at. So, not the most packed news, but I figured let's get the Patreon set before we get into it and get carried away, and all of a sudden I go, oh my goodness, there's 10 minutes left of the episode. We haven't done Patreon yet. I feel like now is a good time for it, Patreon supporters, they deserve the early on time shout out for sure. So huge thank you to our Patreon supporters who help keep our lights on. They're our current sponsors. If you think of it, when's the last time we did a sponsor? Reed,
We haven't been very aggressive of you.
No,
trying to get sponsors either.
You Patreon people have been really floating the show, so huge thank you.
Legit, yeah,
huge thank you. It's not like we make a killing off YouTube, not unless we blow up with these gameplay videos, you know. So huge thank you as always.
When I get a house,
yeah, I've been enjoying my penny candy.
Great
change. So huge thank you to Asim, Amelia, Carson, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, Shoes, and Tom. Your continued support, as always, hugely appreciated. And if you're a Patreon supporter, it does come with some perks. Like we said, you know, on-air shout-out there. What? If you join the on-air shout-out tier, we have some other ones as well. But all of the tiers of the Patreon do come with a nice little gold tag as well in Discord.
Okay.
Look at that. You get to be a Discord champion.
Man, Discord, when you change titles for every single freaking
I changed mine to
channel you're in.
Podcast Overlord. I'll probably change that to something else silly next week. I think I'm going to do like a weekly, you know, have fun for a couple months.
I like how,
with
too,
it.
the channels can offer, because I got offered a rough tag thing with the little
I set
mushroom
up
or something.
server tags.
And
is
I
a new
think
thing. I had to boost the server 3
I
times
think
to get it.
Resonite might do it as well.
Yeah, they're getting popular. So I was like, but if somebody uses that 4-digit, no one else can. So I was like, I got to get rough. So I bought the 3 boosts needed for Discord to get it. I was like, somebody rough? That's not going to be available for long.
Anybody could jack that.
Yeah. So now if you're part of the server, part of our Discord server, anyone can attach that to their profile.
It's a cool. No, Discord is like.
Yeah.
I'm scared that it's going to grow in popularity to the point where it won't be cool anymore.
It's getting bigger and
like
bigger.
IRC, you know.
Discord's it's very effective. So besides our Patreon, we do have a great, as we referenced, Discord community full of awesome Ruff Talk VR listeners, passionate VR fans, whole bunch of non-VR discussion there as well too. If you ever want to come in and just hang out and chit chat,
Plenty to read.
yeah, plenty to chat about. So check out the Patreon, help us keep the lights on. Huge thank you to everyone there. Also check out the Discord, awesome community of Ruff Talk VR listeners.
And before we get into it, I want to give a quick update on my rocket plant.
Ooh, you meant to do that last week, and you were
I
so
totally
disappointed when we
I was a
wrapped
little
up.
bummed. It'll just be a little quick.
It didn't look a little bummed. I could see it. You were like, damn it.
So
it was like
I'll-
that self-disappointment.
I'll keep it under a minute. So I got a started tomato plant that was, you know, I'll say allegedly because I wasn't there, but I know the program is real. But anyways,
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
They didn't have trail cameras
It
on
was
it.
one of the seeds from the International Space Station that was brought out there, and usually when they bring back those seeds, they disperse them to like
Plant has seen some shit
educational-
that me and you will never see.
right? Space radiation. It's been exposed. I don't know what other experiments or they do or don't do. Whatever. So, anyways, it's like I'll say she's a little sprigling. She's like 6 inches tall, and I'll do the week. Someone is like, "Oh man," I posted a picture in our Discord, and someone's like, "You got to give a weekly update on this plant." And I'm like,
I think it was NV, right?
I think it might have been NV. Yeah.
If it wasn't NV, apologize to whoever it was instead.
And I will say, if you look
Huge
at the
shout out to NV too. Can I say, by the way, he's in most of the YouTube lives. Awesome, always good vibes.
never a negative.
I don't think I've ever heard
Ne-
any negativity from NV.
Never
Great part
a
of the
negative
community.
moment.
Yeah, definitely great part of the community. Always appreciate the input.
But yeah, the plan is she's like still in her cup. I keep her outside. This week's going to be awesome because it's going to be real rainy and hot. And then I'll pot her next week. And then maybe I can post another picture because right now it's only that it was a little tiny leaf of hope.
Oh, definitely take pictures because every week, if you send me the picture, I can put it on the screen.
Put on the backdrop.
Well, we're talking about it. Yeah.
All right, so you take the first one right from Discord then, and then I'll take a picture later today and I'll send it. I'll just do the weekly little photo of rocket plant.
Somebody on YouTube even commented. They were like, I
Rocket
don't
plant.
know if you have the ability to do this, but they were like, it'd be cool if, because we always do the weekly selfie
Yeah.
shot. They were like, you should do like a couple of your time lapse of them because they're like, it's always like the same position.
Oh yeah, right.
I was like, fuck, that's
That's a
like a
good
lot
idea.
of effort. I'd have to go through and save, but
Pull them all.
that's actually not a bad idea.
What's the things you think of 4 years later and
Yeah.
426 episodes
Or
later?
no, I didn't even think of it. Just take somebody saying it and you're like, oh,
That's pretty smart.
don't know why I didn't think of that. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I guess stay tuned for the weekly
Rocket plant.
Space Tomato updates as well.
It just blows my mind. It's like that seed is, like you said, legit seen things that we'll never see.
Seeing
you
the
know?
aliens.
or the ocean, depending on what you want to choose to believe, People
funny.
do that. Spend a lifetime being like, look, there's an air bubble.
So huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. Huge thank you to everyone in our Discord that hangs out, makes it such a great community. And to be honest with you, like I said, it's not the most packed news.
No, not
but
at all.
there could be 3 things, and sometimes we go longer than when that's 24 things. So let's see. Before we kick off this week's news, I gotta say I've been enjoying this format we've been doing, where we start the first.
I was being so goofy.
It's all right. That's the best moments. If somebody caught it,
That was so
they caught it. Next thing you know, you're going to be a Discord emoji, Discord sticker, all that stuff.
already emoji. My emoji gets used when you say something sometimes. I'm like, what? That's not even him.
It's hilarious. I love it. So I've been loving this format where we kick it off about kind of like what we've been playing, what's new, and then kind of go right into the news from there. It ends up that talking about 2 games that we've been playing recently is about the same amount of time it takes to go through, 12 news pieces, but that's where the passion is, what we've been playing. But this one I was super excited to see. It's a game that's come out. It came out great, and it keeps on giving, keeps on getting better. Green Hell VR. They just announced that they have a new Quest 3 visual upgrade that when you look at the examples provided, there's definitely some noticeable differences. And then they've also added plant cultivation in it, which, allows you to cultivate plants.
Grow some of the
we won't say what. Yeah, we won't say what, but
hey man,
some
I wanna
good stuff
relax
for the
while I'm out there trying to
capybaras.
survive,
Dog, that's you set up a nice shack, nice little bamboo. Now you can build bamboo stuff. Remember
It'll
that?
stop me from eating everything.
They have
I
the
grab,
mud shacks and stuff. The game,
'cause I'm notorious for that in this game.
when this game came out, it was
What does this do,
one of my favorite story survival games at launch.
dude?
Then they came out with the DLCs for it that were on flat screen, and they added a co-op mode. Have continued to improve the co-op mode, added more features like to get it on par with the flat screen version. It keeps on giving, and now a visual upgrade too, and plant cultivation. Dude, remember when there wasn't really like base building? You could just build
It was
your tent. Now it's like,
our biggest mistake with this game was getting it day one.
but they've had no reason to do that. Like it was a complete game.
I'm
on
so
day
happy
one.
they had though, because I plowed through it.
It was such a good game, and it's
Like
only
my
gotten
life
better.
depended on it. So when co-op with all this stuff now, like more than enough stuff, and they keep adding to it. Dude, those visuals you showed me of the before and after
Especially of the fire.
are stupid. The stones really. The stones in the leaf give it away.
I need to go in. I haven't been in since this upgrade, but like that makes me want to go check it out. The bases that you can build now. Look at the one that's on the GIF here that they built. It is insane the stuff that you can build in this game. They do a great job. I have so much faith in Nkuvo's releases for VR and them following through and continue to update it and improve it based off of Green Hell VR. They've knocked it out of the park.
Do we keep going back to it?
They give us so many reasons.
We've gone back to it even when there wasn't any
know.
reason technically to be like, oh, we need to check this out.
We went back in not thinking anything had been
Look
changed.
at its rating to this day, dude.
Yeah, 4.2 with 4.8K ratings, and I bet you a lot of those lower ratings are probably older.
I feel like they've done more for this than the flat screen's done for flat screen, but I'm constantly seeing it for sale, and I want to grab it so much, but I haven't yet.
so much of what they've done for VR is getting it on par, like getting parity with the flat screen version. Like all these features that they've brought, the bamboo building, the mud crafting, this plant cultivation, the co-op, that was all stuff that was on the flat screen, but not on the VR versions, the DLCs. And they've just worked so hard to make this VR version.
They haven't stopped.
I thought they were done a year ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
But no,
great work.
The visual enhancements are. I mean, you're also looking at like, obviously mechanics and performance are the number one issue that they'd want to address if there was any. I've never really personally had any issues. It's always been a pleasant from gameplay to hallucinations. It's all been good.
We've never crashed out or anything in the servers either.
No,
They do a good job.
I don't think I've ever been on record as saying it's janky or
No.
We just always wanted more from it, And it's weird because they obviously wanted to give a lot more.
It sounds like we were all on the same page.
Yeah, I think the community felt the same thing. They're like, look, the story mode is great. The gameplay is great, but I just want more. I want more. I want to survive. I want to do more than just play through a story.
Again,
and they've delivered.
At launch, there wasn't the base building like this.
No, it was just the story mode.
Yeah. Now we can craft full base. Good stuff. Great work by Incuvo, however the correct pronunciation is. Big fans of them. And definitely excited to check out Green Hell VR this next week and check out these visual upgrades for sure. And cultivate some plants, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That's
I'm curious what the variety will be. No, that's huge because I'm sure you could probably grow healing plants now. So we already know we got to go back in this week.
I'll let you go to your next one. I don't want to harp on this one too much, but you know our setup. We find a fire. We find a good place to set up a fire.
Yeah.
With some recurring meat and veggies.
Build our hut.
Get some coconuts.
Yeah.
Build by a river.
Get the water going.
And then
get some meat.
I'd say within 60 minutes, we can take a new save, a new survival run, and be good to go for next time we hop on to just hop in and go. Didn't mean to tap you there. I'm sorry.
Touch me, dude. I'll go right to HR.
That's funny.
Touch my knee.
Reggie.
Sicky. Yeah, where's Reggie? Reggie's out cold.
No, we've gotten very efficient at just getting that initial build set up.
The flow is good. And it carries over to almost every co-op game we do that has some sort of build or survival element. Oh, man, what was the game way back when we got... I believe it was the first ever game we got from a developer. Do you remember what game that was? It had the blacksmith. You had to get the blacksmith blueprints.
Townsman? A Township Tale?
Wasn't it a Township Tale?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been.
Mm-hmm. That was the first one we ever got early.
I can't remember where I was going with it because I couldn't remember the game.
Yeah, it was a Township Tale.
Damn it.
It's all right. Still good nostalgia. That's a good shout out to the developers, Alta. That was the first ever game we got early access to, a Township Tale. But that's one that had so much potential, but didn't get the updates.
I know what I wanted to say.
Green.
So let's pretend, because we're so new to VR too, as far as as a whole. And that was also a time where App Lab still existed and a time where there wasn't a ton of stuff on the store either.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you had a couple $100, you probably owned every game on the store, right? But if that game came out today versus it coming out years ago, when did it come out?
Came out in 2021, July 13th, 2021.
Jesus, dude.
Almost 4 years ago this week.
Okay. That makes total sense.
It's still getting reviews too.
So I remember in early years too, my fear being with the podcast, I'm like, I'm going broke.
I remember at one point you even said that we're going to run out of games.
Yeah, no, I was doing the math.
That was cute.
Because we're doing a review a week. I'm like, there's not that many games to sustain this at all. I was getting scared. And now you look at the monthly readings or the weekly readings of games, and it's thank God.
It's sad the games that are so easy to miss. This is from 2022. I never played this.
Oh, Innkeeper?
Innkeeper VR. That sounds
well.
That's
kind of my point. I mean, because Township still a great game. But if it had come out today, the appreciation we'd have, because we'd have that knowing flow. Think of the amount of the stuff you can get done when, instead of two idiots just running around, not each doing a specific task, but each, we really dropped the ball with that one. But anyways.
Fun fact, I believe A Township Tale is how Amelia discovered the podcast.
Really?
Yep.
Can't remember.
Pretty confident on that.
It still holds up.
Yeah.
Township Tale is a great game. But anyways, I'm not trying to steal the thunder from
Green Hell VR.
What you're speaking of, which is Green Hell VR, which is still a great game. But I just feel there's some older games that I wish could come out new again. And I feel like they'd make a bigger impact in the space than when they originally did. It's crazy.
I think 1 or 2 years, I think you could do a Mother Gunship Forge remastered with additional content, visual upgrades. Everything.
Oh my God. Easily.
Yeah. But we'll save that for another.
Are we beating a dead horse? We say this weekly, though.
Yeah. But no,
I really feel like
Mother Gunship Forge, I'll say it.
They've never even responded. Not even an email. Be like, yo, shut up.
I think they're probably more than happy to have us talking about. Somebody in our Discord said that they grabbed it. last week because of how much we've been talking about it. I say
Yeah, I'm not shilling for them at all.
no.
Like,
I want to see. I want to see the game have a resurgence.
No digital conversations with them. I'm not in any Discord. I've made no comments. Received no comments. Just one of the greatest games ever made in VR. I don't know why. Just an opinion. All right, we're going to another great game. One that you and I absolutely love. Dorp Dead The Cabin. It's heading off to PCVR, but with a little bit of a twist. Instead of 2-player, you can have 4-player co-op. And it is also going to be flat screen mode.
That's huge. That's a whole new audience.
And some improved visual enhancements, some processing stuff, which we don't see, but we enjoy because it's back end and makes it run better. High resolution, baked lighting and shadows. So this is 100%. We have to check this out. But now you want the icing, like as if that wasn't good enough, right? Like you're not 4-player co-op, which they did make mention that they want to try to bring 4-player co-op to the Quest headset, but it's a processing issue. It demands a lot, but they're not dead in the water with it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It just might take a little bit more time, and it could be one of those situations where, where Meta opens up more power in the headset, which we've seen them do before. But it's going to have cross-platform multiplayer, which will also support the flat screen. So, dude, this game is about to take on a whole new. I want to try it flat screen.
So flat screen players will be able to play with both PCVR and Quest players. Sounds like. If
both flat screen and PCVR players can do co-op and with Quest players.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's followed by the quote potentially come to Quest, which to me, if it's potentially means it can, it's just a matter of the power.
The 4-player multiplayer
co-op.
Could potentially.
Yep.
Huge props.
Yep. Soul Assembly just doing their thing, man.
Yeah.
This was another we talked just a second ago. A game that we thought was complete. Thought when this game came out it was complete. It hasn't. It's like they just put out the game and they're like, we're not even. You think we're not even close because they had another huge update.
They've done content updates,
dude.
No, they're beasts.
I'm
absolutely
dying.
Incredible work.
I know when they say flat screen, it doesn't mean PlayStation and Xbox, but you never know.
Well, if you've already done it,
if they can get this on Xbox, 100%, I'll freaking scoop it, and then we can play together. I just want to know how the game is. It going to be? Is it easier? This is always something I'm trying to wonder.
How's the avatars going to look too? Because they're the meta avatars.
I don't know.
Do they now have an avatar system?
I don't know.
Interesting stuff.
Do they use my Xbox avatar?
Curious stuff.
Interesting. Yeah. No. Soul Assembly. Good job. I'm excited.
Oh, huge props there.
And I don't think there's an official date. I don't believe. Yeah, just later this year.
Okay. So that's not bad.
I'll take later this year.
Yeah. It's better not strain yourself with a specific date.
A hard date?
Yeah, and just say it's coming.
I don't know. They're ambitious, man.
So this next one, interesting name, all one word, but a capital in the middle. DrakkenRidge.
See, I pronounced it Draken.
DrakkenRidge?
Yeah.
Draken sounds cooler. DrakkenRidge. It's a Upload VR headline says a retro-themed fantasy VR adventure. It's going to be coming to the Quest 3. Right now slated for September 4th. Quest 3 only, no Quest 2 on this. But it is a VR, like the title said, VR fantasy RPG. It's been in the works since 2022. So a couple years now.
QZTY XYZ.
Nope, just a regular, no MMO RPG, anything like that.
That became a topic of discussion last week.
Yeah. It says that you're going to be a novice in the Mage Order, and you're part of an ancient organization tasked with policing the use of magic. Oh, look at this. While the land now finds itself in a time of peace, the Order survives as a private militia maintaining law and order. You're a mage cop. You're a cop mage.
Cop mage? That's a dangerous cop.
You're going to be operating across five islands in the game. And the game promises over 20. The game's going to have over 20 weapons with a mix of spellcasting, using ancient ruins, as well as learning new abilities by quote unquote acquiring essences from bosses and such. And then there's going to be melee weapons like swords, axes, daggers, all that stuff. And some range weapons like black powder gun, which makes me think that you have to reload it. And,
but yeah, there's no such thing as auto-load black powder.
You can think of it how it would work in VR too. Like you're actually going to do that mechanic, I imagine.
Black powder, you're going to have to pour.
Yep. Pump it in. Yep.
Pop the bow.
Oh, but then there's also going to be a bow and arrow.
I don't know if that's worth it.
I think the bow and arrow is going to be more efficient.
Usually is.
And then there's also
time tested.
Your equipment's also going to be upgradable, and you're in your hunter's lodge.
If I had a choice between a bow and arrow and or a compound bow and a black powder rifle, single shot, I'm taking that bow and arrow all day. Yeah. Even if I miss, I've got like 10 more tries.
You're really good with bow and arrows in VR, so I would suggest that you take it.
Yeah, no, it'd be a real life interesting situation.
So interesting stuff. Definitely excited to try.
When's it come out? Did you say
right now slated for September 4th on the Quest 3.
All right. These are our summer releases pretty much dropping.
End of summer. I mean, this summer right now, as we're seeing with Prison Boss Requisition, as well as some other releases coming. And then
some good stuff coming, dude.
There's not a slow time like this July. August, I'm not hearing too much yet, but I didn't hear anything for July and June. And then bam, 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 bam.
I think there's some August surprises.
And then right now we're already seeing September 4th, right at the start of September. Like, yeah, this end of this year is going to cap off strong. Deadpool's not far away, right?
Probably what, 2 years?
No,
a year.
Let's see. Was there a slated date on Deadpool VR? I feel like they said end of the year.
I don't know. If you want, I'll flow right into the next thing. The next piece, sir.
Yeah, I might be making up this year, but yeah, flow into it, and I'll take a look at the press release.
I think what you want and what everyone wants and what we're gonna get, but I don't know why I thought. I mean, definitely a year, right?
I see later this year.
Holy Moses!
I thought I remembered hearing it was.
You're telling me this thing's been under wraps for freaking 2 years?
Well, yeah, because what has Twisted Pixel been?
There's been no leaks. Wink, wink.
I mean, credit there. Yeah, no.
Come on, dude. Wait until the credits roll on this thing. How many people worked on it? That's craziness.
Yep. It will arrive, quote unquote, later this year.
That's not even saying end of year. That shit could come out anytime. That could
I'm
be
guessing October.
That could be my special August release.
I'm going to guess that's October. That's my guess. Meta likes their October dates.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So my point being,
I'll
though,
go aggressive and I'll say August.
This year is stacked, is my only point. There's so much to come.
They're going to drop this on back to school time.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
There's a game I played that I cannot wait for you to get access to as well. Like, there's some great stuff coming this year. It's the best is yet to come.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not selling it short at all.
All right, you want to take the next one?
I did
Draken. How'd you pronounce it?
I call it Draken.
DrakkenRidge.
Although
September 4th,
Draken.
Quest 3. RPGs coming.
I don't know.
Single player only, it looks like. So, that's I like co-op RPGs. I won't lie. I like co-op gaming in general in VR. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but
no way.
For you single player RPG fans, stay tuned for this one.
MFO, BRO, KO. Slap fighting, bro. Norwegian studio Breach. Cool to see. Bringing us this is interesting. Kind of got weird feelings on it. But not in a bad way. Laser Matrix. It's coming to Quest this summer. Right? You have skeptical eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be dodging lasers in an adaptable places, depending on your room size. And it's kind of mixing fitness with puzzle solving. Now, the article did say it takes an undeniably similar approach to...
I like that wording from Upload VR.
It's beautiful. Who wrote this? Let me
Henry,
call
that's our boy.
Is it Henry?
That's
Please
our
tell
boy.
me it's Henry. It is Henry Stockdale. All right.
It does take an undeniably
similar approach. Didn't say it's exact, but just undeniably, you will not deny, to Laser Dance by Vanvo BV. Interestingly enough, Laser Dance is not out yet.
Mm-hmm.
This
been in the works for a while.
And it hit me today. I was like, I feel like it should have already come out. I'm feeling bad because
It is the danger of when you announce a title early.
I'm excited for
people like the concept. If yours isn't out yet, they're going to say, I mean, shit, we've seen it. If your game is out, they'll try to duplicate the concept, let alone if they can get theirs out before yours, right?
Yeah. 100%. So that's my emotional, and that's sad. I need, you can't always have a personal attachment to something, but still very excited for Laser Dance. But anyways, this will have game modifiers, so you can adjust the settings to your degree, and it'll initially come out with, and I'm not saying there's going to be more, so I shouldn't say initially. It's coming out with 2 gameplay modes: survival mode, which, we all know it's just going to get a little harsher and harsher. And then if you are I need to be on the leaderboard, they will have time trials in a time trial mode. So you're not forced to do leaderboard if you don't want, but it does look trailer-wise somewhat similar.
I will say it does do its own thing where it's like these laser blocks.
But then could you argue Walkabout, was the originator with laser layer?
Well, that's not dodging.
The OG.
That's not dodging them and stuff.
I disagree. Your ball does.
To me, this is...
Do you not have to dodge the lasers with your ball?
From what I've seen of Laser Dance, I think that this is different enough from Laser Dance that they do a completely different thing. I mean, like similar, but this is definitely going for more of the fitness, and there's all it's blocks of lasers. It's not like the ninja.
Let's just break it down. Laser Dance versus Laser Matrix.
This is also like blocks, not like evil layer lasers.
Oh no, I get it. I just haven't played
I know.
Laser Dance yet.
I know.
But I will be playing Laser Matrix, and it just hits a little weird.
Well, it says Laser Matrix launches this summer on the MetaQuest. Laser Dance is coming this fall. Let's see what happens.
Just weird the way that
now that the news of this is out, let's see.
Maybe they accelerate it.
I'm a big fan of Thomas. I'm very hyped for Laser Dance.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be all over Laser Matrix.
Yeah, like I said, definitely.
I've been waiting anxiously for
Laser Dance.
I wanted Laser Dance 2 years ago.
Definitely
legit, like 2 years ago.
Laser Dance to me looks more strategic.
Yeah,
whereas
I think
Matrix,
it's going to be a different vibe.
I
think like this one, Laser Matrix, to me is going to be more physical.
Speed run.
Yeah.
They even say the time trials. I think Laser Dance is going to be about taking... This is my theory. I haven't played. I think it's going to be like strategic, like go slow, kind of like really creep. Because like those lasers were moving. They were coming at... It was crazy. This one looks like it's... Laser Dance looks like it's going to be old school.
We forgot to talk about something kind of cool.
What's that?
I don't mean to interrupt the show.
What's that? We're on the Walkabout Twitch?
Yeah, man.
How did I know that you were about to bring that up?
Because you knew that you felt it.
Yeah.
You felt it.
We got
you felt the wave of like, oh, I know exactly what he's referring to. Because there's only one thing you could be referring to. Because I'm like, dude, we played Walkabout all week.
Yeah, this past Wednesday we got to be on the official, not a fan one, the official Walkabout Mini Golf Twitch channel to hang out with Coconut Sarah, who we had on the podcast.
We were on our best behavior.
No cussing or anything.
I didn't swear once.
Yeah, I think it was a fun time. We got to go through. We played Laser Layer on hard mode, and mostly just chit chatted.
Can I divulge some backstory?
What's that?
So the night before, because we knew in advance we were going to be playing on this date and at this time, which just through the universe worked out perfect for both of us. So anybody got any plans? And it worked out great. But we're like, even though we've been playing this course every day, like, let's play a couple of rounds of the easy mode, because we had it in our head we're probably going to go in there and play a round on the easy mode. So I think we did 2 or 3 rounds on the easy mode. And then we're like, all right, we're good. So when we play tomorrow, should be no problem. And we jump in there, and then Sarah's like, I figure we'll play the hard mode because I want the fox hunt. And we're like, it just figured in my head. I'm like, well, I would figure I practice the easy mode. And we're going to go in there and play it on the hard mode. Too funny.
Yeah, it's funny how we had all this game planning, all this expectation, and then...
Oh, yeah, legit.
Boom. Thrown right off.
I don't know. I did post a good score, I think.
Yeah, you won it. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good time, though.
I'll do that anytime.
So huge props to Mighty Coconut for having us on. That was awesome.
Yeah, I totally forgot, man.
Yeah, I love that type of stuff. So this next one, speaking of golf, Fruit Golf.
Perfect lead-in.
Yes. It is a asymmetrical VR multiplayer game where mobile players can also play, and they can sabotage you as you try to play your Fruit Golf. It's out now in early access on the Quest. It's definitely going for that family-friendly approach. Probably more in the walkabout mini golf direction than Golf Plus, but definitely does its own thing with trying to do the asymmetrical gameplay of it. It's out now on Quest. Like I said, in early access. A Steam version's coming soon. And the mobile app for people to play with you asymmetrically in multiplayer is free. So that's cool. The game features a solo practice mode, and then there's multiplayer mode with up to 4 different players. Pretty cool stuff. Your character's a fruit, so you can customize. You have customizable fruit characters. So, I mean, golf is a home run in VR. Looks like it's doing its own thing. It's not trying to be the next walkabout mini golf or anything. They're doing their own. It's its own thing.
You want to see a community get real, like one of the most peaceful communities get angry?
Try to steal their concept?
Yeah, I'm sure people would go ape shit, dude.
I would say this is doing its completely own thing.
I love it.
I mean, dude, we might see 3 big golf games on the market. This is so vastly different.
Dude, wait until the freaking bowling game finally comes out. That's been being worked on for the past 5 years.
I'm excited for Pin City. If they can get multiplayer in it too, that's the real game changer.
Oh yeah, that's probably our only complaint, right? Mm-hmm. Not even complaint, just what would make it really good. But still, it's like entertaining as hell to watch people do.
Yeah, so definitely want to check this one out with you next week.
Fruit golf.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I when I hear the name Fruit Golf, I think Fruit Ninja.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
And it's not the same studio.
No.
That's unfortunate. So, if it was. This is kind of a weird one for me. I've got mixed vibes on it. So, it's called Piano Cafe. It's coming out July 30th. And it's going to use a gamified approach to like learning piano. You do have to plug a USB to C cable into your MIDI compatible piano in a perfect world so it can line up the keys well. So I was like, I'm intrigued always with any instrumental thing.
It's tough when it requires the physical hardware.
Well, what's good is I have a full keyboard, like regulation size. If you were to call it, it's full blown piano keys converts to, and I can plug in. It's not that. It's like, this is strange. You're using your right hand to put on the colored keys, as there's different like vegetables and stuff that you have to do stuff with your left hand with. So as someone who can actually like read sheet music, I can actually, if you give me enough time, I'm rusty as frick, right? But if you gave me a week in sheet music, I could figure it out. I'm like, I don't know how this is really going to translate and what good practices.
It almost sounds like I'd rather it be just a simulation. Like not the gamified aspect of it. Just let me play piano and do lessons. You know what I mean?
It's weird. I saw nothing going on with the left hand other than like catching stuff. And, you know, it'll tell you, like, you know, you got to press these keys and it'll be like 3 orange, ching, and you press it. And I'm like, so A, are you really playing a song and are you really learning? Because I see a lot of bad practices being evolved.
No, I would rather just a real, like, here's how you play.
I don't want to say, like...
All right.
I mean, I haven't played it yet. This comes out July 30th. I might try this and be like, yo,
I think you have to.
I'm going to eat my words. This totally carries over to learning real music.
Makes it fun, gamified. I'm skeptical, though.
Like Piano Vision, you know, where you could argue you theoretically can learn. I mean, I've yet to see an app, though, that, like, really teaches good practice. Mm-hmm. They give you the ability of, like, you know, light up keys to know to press this. But so I'm intrigued, but on the video, I'm a little concerned.
This is something that I'll debate on because some people will say, and I'll get to my full thoughts because I think you're going to agree with me when I get to my final conclusion on it. It's actually a debate I've had a lot of times where some people will say it's better to learn something than nothing. But as somebody that, like, I've taught a lot of people jiu-jitsu, I've taught a lot of classes.
Yeah.
I would rather somebody that knows nothing in terms of when I go to teach somebody, I would rather a brand new person knows absolutely zero starting from scratch than somebody that has even years of bad habits. Like, oh, I've practiced, but you've done it bad for a year. You're going to be so much harder to teach than somebody that's never learned at all.
Well, yeah,
now it's your muscle memory.
Habit. Yep.
So that doesn't sound like much to people, but like if you learn your initial fundamentals to something that's skill based, if you learn it with bad habits, it will take you so much effort
to break the habit,
and like it'll forever hinder your ability in that skill.
You know, the number one instrument you see that in is guitar. So you could have 100 good guitarists, but you probably have like 98 bad habit guitarists that just figured it out, but they made it work. This says it's to promote and build muscle memory.
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
But that muscle memory has to be clean. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
why I got to try it.
I think
Based on the video, I was
page.
like, whoa. I love the idea of it plugging in. I won't be upset. If it can plug in and actually know, because it's, of course, using hand tracking, you know, these are where all my keys are legit, and these keys are going to light up, and I press these keys. And I did see they have, you know, the different things you can choose from. There's so many unknowns to this that, like, it just has me more concerned than, like.
No, I'm with you on that.
I want to play it. I want to be able to talk about it. And I honestly, if it's legit, I'll say it's like.
No, I think this would be a good one because, like you said, it might be an eating your words one.
Yeah,
I'd love to revisit this.
I
after
would
you try
love
it.
to eat my words. I would, or I'd just be honest and say, look, you know, it's fun,
but it's not going to do
but
what
you're
you want
not
it to do.
you're not gonna be learning anything. You're not even gonna memorize anything because your left hand's just catching fruit or bread or sandwich meat. I don't know. It's a very interesting concept.
I'm skeptical, but definitely excited to hear your thoughts. That's for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So this next one's interesting. Waltz of the Wizard became it's been out on the Quest for and Steam for quite a while, but it really blew up this past like year and a half on TikTok and stuff. It became like out of nowhere one of the most viral
It's crazy
games.
'cause I've owned it forever,
and like it climbed the store rankings. It's nuts. But they announced, and it is out on Steam, PSVR 2, and MetaQuest. But they announced that this fall they're going to be coming to iOS and Vision Pro. So Vision Pro, not too many users, but having an iOS version of this game that so much of the game is interacting, you know, with your skull and all the interactions. I could totally see how you could do that with swiping on a screen. That's huge for them. It's interesting to see more and more VR games go to iOS editions, like we've seen with Walkabout Mini Golf. Waltz of the Wizard was also one of the first games to get hand tracking on PSVR 2. Like, they're just a studio and a game that's innovating. Cool stuff, though. Very unexpected.
dude. It's an old game, but it's really fun.
And
I won't lie.
it's coming with a update to the game at the same time as those. It's not like they're just launching a new platform. They're launching what they call Scully's Fantastic Fails update.
I think when I first got it, there wasn't a ton to do either.
No, it's really grown.
I really busted out everything quickly, and then they did an update, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And then I know they've just done a handful after that.
Scully, the character in the game, the skull that you can interact with, has become a big part of their viral content for it. So not
Dude,
surprisingly,
look at how cool he is.
yeah. And he says some funny stuff.
Wouldn't you want a Scully plush?
Well, this new update is going to let you explore the courtyard in the game with Scully, adding in quote unquote hundreds of new reactions and voice lines. So I'm guessing they're leaning into the content side and like, all right, you guys like the content with Scully? Let's give you a couple hundred more lines. That's worth the investment. So huge stuff to developers, keeping Waltz of the Wizard relevant with updates and also bringing it to new platforms, including smartphones, iOS. That's cool stuff.
Okay. So I joked earlier about the word leak. Wink, wink. We have gotten a meta leak of what we know is coming, but known as Celeste. Kind of an odd name, but we'll go with it. It could have been Horizon Celeste.
It's their code name as well, too.
Yep. Yeah, subject to change, of course. But it was leaked. The name, the design, the wristband.
Okay, that's not the code name then. That's the official name.
Oh, well, until it's on the market, we'll say. Because it is still technically a leak, right?
Yeah.
But it seems pretty accurate that this is what it's going to be. What is cool is reading that you're going to be able to definitely see the time, the weather, and notifications. Preview photos. I'm really freaking stoked for this.
I did cut you off at one point of it that I think you're about to hit, that it comes with the neural wristband.
Yeah.
That's going to use gestures.
Which we heard
navigate.
about years ago.
Yeah.
And that seemed like, because the gesture movements I saw were so subtle, but they did major movements. What's a little painful is going to be the price tag.
Yeah, the rumors of it.
If
you didn't get to that, I was going to throw that in there.
We're talking $1,000 to $1,500, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, 1,200, 1,100.
I won't lie, man. I can't afford it. So I'm just going to say that. I mean, I can't, but I want it like really badly.
The HUD is only going to be in one eye.
Yeah.
But that's like Android, like science fiction style.
100%.
Isn't that how it always was in the science fiction stuff? It's either a visor across,
typically when you look down a
eye.
scope, you don't use two eyes. Use one eyeball. Look down a scope, look down a viewfinder, look down anything. It's
the
always
turn
one
by
eyeball.
turn
Kaleidoscope, one eyeball.
showing captions of real world speech is going to be so for people that are deaf. This is going to be an accessibility unit for
Terminator, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, plug me in.
Well, in navigating a foreign country, you're going to be able to get the translation of it on your screen.
This is just now. I think 2 years from now. And this is why I think Meta's really pushing hard into this this landscape.
That's going to be Meta's number one selling.
In the long term, because this is something that every human being, not every human being can use a headset.
It's an accessibility
Not
thing.
everybody wants to play video games, but the possibilities with something like this, the elderly, you know, your kids, just it's endless, dude.
Wait till the time that we're able, like, you know, showing off with Orion, the end point, the point where this all is leading to. Like when you can do avatar voice calls right through your goggles, it's going to change remote work.
Well, you know what's even crazier? Because Orion's been announced and it's there.
Oh, other companies are going.
We don't know
the next after it.
We don't already know like what the 5-year deal really is.
And I really think when they showed those off,
kind of crazy.
I think that kicked off other companies investing in that technology in a way that they wouldn't have if those weren't shown off. Like they brought Orion on the screen. I think Google got re-interested in smart glasses. I think Apple got interested in it. I think all these companies were going to see them putting them out too. So that's a big one. This is one of my highlights of the whole week, personally, just because I'm so excited for this stuff. I made sure not to grab it for you either.
I'll do whatever I got to do for this when it comes out, dude.
Yeah.
I can't not
give it a little zuck, a little suck. Sorry.
I don't want it that bad.
I'm sorry.
$1,000.
The rhyme of it came into my mind.
1,000?
The rhyme of it came to my mind.
And I got to go to him?
I couldn't. It's
going to cost me more to get there to do the deed.
You know how it is. You think of it, you got to say it sometimes,
well,
you know.
It unfortunately rhymes.
Dude, it was too there for me.
Icing the deal will never get him. No, dude. When this was originally announced, I was all about it. When I saw the gestures being shown, I loved the concept. I'm like, this is really this is a huge direction to go. And kind of like you mentioned with Google, like Zuckerberg does some stuff and Google now goes,
Apple.
Maybe we shouldn't have killed that project 8 years ago, you know? But Apple definitely. Apple is like, but what's weird about Apple to me is they're not innovating as much as chasing.
Both with the Vision Pro and their glasses are going to be working on.
It wasn't not true when Zuckerberg said, like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you're doing that we can't do. We just couldn't do it to make it affordable.
And again, the neural wristband's a game changer. People aren't going to be in their face doing this, pinching and stuff. You just keep your hand on your lap.
Listen, I'll argue that
just kind of move your thumb around.
I'll argue that if Zuckerberg made a $3,500 headset, it would absolutely crush whatever Apple was bringing to the table.
Yeah, but
for the same money,
the media response would have been.
I'm just saying. Well, nobody's going to buy it. Just like, you know, the masses aren't running to the hills.
They got
to get
crucified
for
the Quest Pro price back in the day, and
they adjusted too.
Third of the cost of the Vision Pro.
Yeah.
But anywho's, I am excited about this.
Yeah,
especially the neural wristband.
Tell you right now, Meta Celeste, I'm on board. Let's get a couple of pairs over here for your boys in mass.
Couple HUD glasses, couple neural wristbands. I'm so excited for that tech too. What a time!
You have no idea.
So,
There's so much potential with it.
Like I said, that one was
And this is just the beginning.
That was a leader.
But it's coming out
for me.
That was leak marketing. That's what I refer those to.
Yeah.
That's known as an LM.
So this next one, pretty quick one, just a game we love. Bootstrap Island, PCVR survival game. They announced its largest biome yet with their Riverlands update. Pretty cool stuff. It introduces a new biome filled with fresh water, new terrains that are very steep, apparently. Great stuff. And a new deadly fauna.
Freaking game, dude.
And new deadly fauna. They've added so much content to this. Whole bunch. They put out a whole roadmap.
It's so sad it can't do standalone.
No. The full release of the game hasn't even come yet. This is all early access stuff and part of the roadmap. They even do have post-release content for after their full launch, which is planned for Q1 of 2026.
All right.
So let's see where the game is by then. Holy moly.
I feel really blessed we were able to try that
In the state,
in Germany.
Yeah, great game.
Gamescom.
That's why I always, whenever I see that they have an update, I always make sure to throw it on the list. Love the developers, Maru VR. Great game.
Dude,
If you
all
have
those
PCVR,
booths were run so professionally.
if you have PCVR and you like survival games, definitely recommend Bootstrap Island.
Bootstrap Island? Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude.
It's a challenge. It's a tough
Just
one.
go
but
wait
it's
in the
fun.
water for 15 minutes
Yeah,
and be
but-
like, oh my God, dude.
But it's a fun one.
So, no joke. So I will jump to what is legit a cool one. Not just because it's a good game, but they were nice enough to take part in the Ruff Talk VR 2025 VR gaming showcase, as well as kind of did like
I was actually a really big fan of that. Glad the reception of that was good too.
did a little, yeah, you pushed hard for it. I admit, now that it's all said and done, I probably gave a little push back on it
Only because it was different.
more than once. I was like, I don't know if I really
To me, that
enjoy
broke
that.
down. That broke down the walls to do that more with
But
other
you're-
games in the future too.
What sold it for me was you're like, nah, man, look at their enthusiasm though. You can tell it's real. You can tell that like they genuinely, I'm like, I couldn't deny it. Right. So it's like, what better pushback than humanity and the real vibe and emotion and feeling?
And then all said and done, it was well received in the actual showcase too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So they seem like good human beings, and them being good human beings actually won them over with other than just a normal game trailer, because we allowed for a more in-depth behind the scenes. If you're interested in that, you can find it on the YouTube video.
If their tone was like, "This is my game,"
Oh no, dude, it was just
it was like, "This is my," like,
Yeah,
let's
there was
go.
good
Like, this is-
excitement.
Yeah, it was awesome.
like how many espressos you have before turning on the record button. But anyways, their game, the Phoenix Gene, has added an easy difficulty and some rebalancing to their combat system, which tells me that the community has said, hey, love the game. I would just love to love it more if I could play it for more than this amount of time before I'm getting ace. So, but they're making the game a little easier. That is an update for you all from the Phoenix Gene.
Mm-hmm. That's one that I definitely want to cover soon. We'll do a good dive into it gameplay
And
wise.
their developer name, Hero Mation.
Yep.
Hero Mation.
Husband wife duo as
do,
well
they're
too. I love
Good
it.
energy.
So we'll definitely have them on soon, and we'll do some talking about the game. Admitting that we haven't really played it too much, so we kind of got to really go in and experience the game before we can.
Yeah, I can't
about
talk.
full
I'm only going by my gratitude for them
But
having that energy, providing that trailer, and really recognizing that it's because of their energy that I stopped pushing back on doing, like, being like, yeah, man, I guess a 5-minute behind the scenes game thing in the middle of a game. You know what I'm saying? Showcase is workable, but you sold me, and it's because they sold you.
yeah, their energy did itself. So we were even talking off air before this episode of. It's ironic that they were on the list of news too, because I think it was before we put the list together. We were like, oh, we gotta play that game and talk about it on the podcast soon and cover it. So definitely stay tuned for some thoughts on the Phoenix Gene. Great developers, and excited to really experience
Looks like
it.
a lot going on, dude.
If it's a good game, we got to get them on too. So good stuff. And actually, that was the last piece of news on the list in total. So wrapping up with the Phoenix Gene.
short news week,
Yeah.
long episode.
I will throw out two that I found in the last moments as well. Two that last week, famous to us leaker Luna one of the better leakers in the industry. There was actually one of the news you cut because you're like, there's some that we trust.
Yeah.
Some we don't.
Yeah.
One of the pieces of news that we cut was one of the ones that we don't necessarily trust.
Yeah.
But Luna starts posting stuff. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, it might actually come to that because I believe there is a comment as well, but we'll see.
But somebody sent Luna, X user, X being like the new Twitter, X, that's what I mean by X. Luke Got Bored was his name, sent it to Luna. That they've been long rumored to be working on a theater environment for their homerooms.
Mm-hmm.
So you could invite somebody to your homeroom environment and it's a theater to watch things like YouTube and stuff like that. And somebody, quote unquote, accidentally was able to access a work in progress build of it. And it looks pretty sweet with like the amount of chairs and the theater layout of it. Looks like an in-house big screen competitor. The big thing about this would be, look, watching YouTube and stuff is cool. But if we can stream stuff from our computer,
that's
the real.
changer.
Yeah. But
for now, I'm pretty excited.
So it looks like if somebody's accidentally able to access it, it's probably coming soon. And then a game we talked about the other week, Eldrimore, Haven in the Mist, they launched a Kickstarter the other week. And it had a pretty modest Kickstarter goal. I think it was like $25K or something like that.
Yeah, they didn't like triple.
Dude, as of last week, I'll go to their full Kickstarter. But as of last week, they broke 100K.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of VR MMO. Not a lot, but like there's been other past attempts and stuff. But if anyone was skeptical that people still want
Curious
VR,
how many donors to get 636.
639 backers at $120,000, breaking past their $25,000 goal. Insane support on this one. They've almost, dude,
and that's on something that could not happen.
Yeah, at this point they're just hitting stretch goals. Like,
why don't we have a Kickstarter?
Because it's not always the best for every case. We don't have something to deliver like them. Dude, the fact that what's their last stretch goal?
Actually, that's not true.
Their last stretch goal is pet abilities that they unlock in $5,000 more, and then they say more to be revealed. Dog, they got about a day or two. They got a day. They got a day or two to figure this out because they're gonna hit 5K probably by tomorrow or something.
Yeah, some dude's gonna tap that off just to see it get posted.
So huge props to them for that kind of support.
They're promising a lot.
So. Yeah, if they really were budgeting and only expecting to hit 25,000. Which really is not anything to make a game.
Which is gonna
you can't even pay yourself a year.
I'm pretty sure there is a game. It's just this is the.
Oh, they're probably pretty far.
This is what we need to get it to the wild. This is what we need to get it better.
We've gotten it here so far to get it done. Because I mean, dude, you couldn't even pay yourself a year's salary with.
Kudos to them for pretty much putting out their development budget to say, look, this is the cost to get it finished.
Yeah,
they get it in the wild.
They better be having a meeting today about stretch goals.
Yeah, man, because they're gonna blow it, or they need to stop the campaign.
No, keep that baby going.
Right.
17 days left.
They just need to have a shrug shoulder bar. Like, just because you want to, like there's we've exceeded what we wanted to ever do.
They need to put a 300K. Like, we can't promise anything additional. Just please keep supporting us.
Your image.
Yeah. Oh man, and honestly, $120,000 with only 639 backers. People are showing the hell up. Mm-hmm. It's insane. So huge props there.
It's actually pretty huge.
All right, let's wrap it up with the upcoming VR games through July, like we've been doing. July is a packed month, as we're seeing. I'm imagining August, September, October, November, and December to be all the same.
I'm looking for that August banger.
Yep, but Cave Crave, which is out now on MetaQuest, is coming to PSVR 2 on July 10th. Then we got Jungle Man, which we talked about the other week a bit, that we love the studio. Fun Train with Douglas Neighbors. Definitely excited to check out Jungle Man coming July 10th to the Quest 3. As we talked about at the start of the show, Prison Boss Prohibition also coming July 10th to PC VR and MetaQuest. Ooh, an unfortunate 3-game day of July 10th. That's the normal these days. Bridge Constructor Studio, which is out now on MetaQuest, is having its PC VR launch on July 17th. Chess Club VR, also out now on MetaQuest, is coming to PSVR 2 on July 18th. Man, I messed up the pronunciation of this one last week, and I'm going to do it again. Le Mans, is that it?
Perfect.
There we go. You told me the racing crew was going to take my head over it. Le Mans Ultimate.
Le Mans.
Coming July. There was Le Mans.
I went from Daytona to Le Mans.
Coming July 22nd to PCVR.
Le Mans.
Elemental Towers coming July 23rd to PCVR. Monster Titans Playground coming July 24th to PCVR. Boxing Machine VR coming July 25th to PCVR. And that might even be a typo because I think it's coming to Quest as well. And I think we talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Piano Vision coming July 30th to the MetaQuest.
Nope. Say it again.
I said Piano Vision?
100%.
Piano Cafe. This is, you know what's messed up? That's the first time I did that. I'm going to do it a bunch.
Yeah. And
And if I do it, I don't think I'm going to be the only one.
probably not. No. There's a handful of games.
Okay. V-Racer Hover
V-Racer,
Bike came out last week. I saw one person write V-Rider Hover Bike
Yeah.
because there's V-Rider SBK.
Yeah. No, I knew there was going to be a little confusion. And I was even looking at the V-Racer hover bike being like, it should have been maybe hover bike V-Racer
Well, in fairness,
or hover bike racer.
V-Racer Hover Bike came out first because it was on Steam.
Doesn't matter. You got two in the wild.
I know. Just saying.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
It's almost like you have a staked interest.
What are you talking about? I have no biases on this one. Wait, when did it come out on the PCVR version? I'm looking now.
That I don't know.
I'm looking now. 2019. So they definitely beat.
Googly moogly.
They got the name first.
Yeah.
For sure.
For PCVR.
You're saying for MetaQuest.
MetaQuest, that's a different animal, bro. I mean, in all seriousness, there was somebody that was legit. Like,
There's a couple of these that are easy to mix up too.
underdog boxing underdog, no matter how you slice
Whatever it's
it.
called.
We don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I've given up even trying. I just want to freaking play the thing. I wanted it when it was bare knuckle.
Yeah.
And I get if they were told, like, no.
I still say we go in there that first time. I'm going to put my hands down. And I don't want you to KO my guy. We're
Just
going to go into bare
work
knuckle
up
mode.
the meat.
Just jab.
Yeah.
Just try to cut him.
See if
Slicing blows.
there's bleed factors.
Slicing blows.
Absolutely. Just the two knuckles,
Yep.
baby.
Plop. Go for my
Although
eye.
they're going to wrap their hands, aren't they?
You know, sometimes these games too, they do it where like it doesn't matter how light of a shot you get hit with. If you've hit a certain amount of damage, you're going down.
Yeah.
Other games, it's like doesn't matter how much damage you've taken. It at least needs to be X amount of power to put you down. I'm hoping that like you can just pitter patter all day. You know, they're not going down. You're just blooding them up.
If there's damage factor, I'm going to be more into hurting the person than knocking
I'm
them
not
out.
going for KOs in that
Yeah.
game. If there's cut up like that, hell yeah.
There was a game. Oh man, I can't remember what game. Some fighting game.
I want it to be like hamburger meat.
Yeah, and it got to the point where like literally like you would touch the person and they would just get knocked out because you tortured them so bad with the beating. And you always wanted to just go one more. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah.
I've always gotten obsessed in MMA and boxing games with like
there's damage.
my character. I like to get KOs in the beginning, but like at a certain point in playing it, like no, I want
Gotta go technical.
I
Yeah.
get upset when it's like a second round KO. I'm like, come on, I wanted to play longer. You know?
Did you not see his eye? It was shut.
Oh,
Wait until that effect really takes place, where you start losing vision. Like, they've gotten blur factors good.
I'm excited for this. Supposed to have multiplayer as well too. So no, great stuff coming throughout the year.
Yeah.
Some confusing names. You know what's some game names that you mix up, flat screen or VR? Let us know in the comments. If you've been enjoying the show.
How about
as
I
always-
finish off the list?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Is that cool?
Did I just end it at Piano Vision July 30th? Have a great day.
Yeah, instead
Okay,
of
I'm
Piano
sorry.
Cafe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Piano
No
Cafe,
worries.
yeah.
So real quickly, SCP-087,
Can
the
I finish?
Stairwell Horror VR, coming July 30th,
My guy.
PSVR 2. It would have been funny to have let that go too.
All the devs excited to hear their name
Like,
too.
yo, what the frick? Bow Course Archery Golf coming July 2025, PCVR. Infective Mushroom Pinball. Freaking awesome name. Coming July 2025, PCVR. Again, rolling very, 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 very PCVR heavy for the month of July. Requisition VR, though, coming July 2025. Quest, you heard us talking about it earlier. I'll be all sorts of in it to win it this week. Rogue Pinata's VR-mageddon coming July 2025.
I feel like they should just drop. They should just be Rogue Pinatas.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like when games try to be cute with that stuff.
Coming when it's hard to pronounce. July 2025, PCVR. I'm excited for PCVR World to get that. Space Drop coming July 2025. PSVR 2. There you are, hiding in the mix of things. Space Explorers Ultimate Edition coming July 2025 to Quest. Premier League Player, July 2025. There's Pico. Wanderer, The Fragments of Fate, another one coming to Pico, PCVR in July 2025.
Stacked month.
I have not finished Wanderer, and I'm actually kind of a little sad at myself.
Yeah, I was thinking of that the other day. I need to go back and finish it. There's been so much coming, but we'll make time for it.
And then I'm looking at some shit we've played that I could be like, was that necessary?
Mm-hmm.
When I really want to freaking finish it.
Okay, let's make the effort to finish up Wanderer.
I say that, but now I got Requisition. I want to go hard.
And we're trying to push the YouTube videos more too, but we could do a video on Wanderer. Also, it hit me. I think I know why they put VR-mageddon on Rogue Pinatas. I bet you they're going to make flat screen version. I bet you it's going to be an IP they run with, and there's going to be a flat screen version.
That's not Flatmageddon. Flatmageddon. She was the star. Flatmageddon. I met her at the bar.
All right, fun stuff today, though.
Yeah, I'm getting loose.
We went long. Stay tuned for more YouTube videos coming this next week.
Flatmageddon. Flatmageddon.
If you enjoy the show, as always, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Check out the Discord, the Patreon, all that stuff. Smash that like button.
Smash.
And we will check you out next week. Next week, though. Not this week. This week is the only podcast episode. I hope you savored it, enjoyed it. Hope it soaked in good. But next week, we'll have a news and a fun interview. What I imagine will be a fun interview.
Should be.
I'm excited for it.
Could be.
So stay tuned.
Hopefully.
And we will check you out next week. Unless you go to the Discord, then you can come say hi before then.
Yeah.
Look at that selling point. All right. Ciao, ciao.